Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Storytime Society. I'm your host Jamie and I'm so happy you're here. I'm so glad you're alive. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of the Storytime Society. If you haven't already, please press the subscribe button, the like button, and of course, leave me a comment about anything, whatever you're drinking. I don't have my latte's over there again. My latte's sitting on my vanity, but it's literally ice cold. It was hot and now it's like ice cold because I've had it for like 3 hours. But let me know what you're drinking in the comments below, and let me know what you think about any of the stories that we read today. We also have a subreddit that's linked below if you want to ever leave any stories on there, or if you want to listen on Spotify, we have the Spotify linked below as well. So now that I'm out of breath, as always, we're going to get started with the story times. Okay. This first one, it's short, but like the title is absolutely insane, so I had to read it because it's genuinely so scary. But not scary as in like scary, but like it's just creepy. It's gross. All right, the title is I broke up with my girlfriend because she's been collecting my sperm and I accidentally used it as shampoo. We've been living together for 4 months, and I was well aware of the issues she's had with hoarding. She would have 2 boxes of seashells, binders full of newspaper clippings, or even bags of trash that she couldn't throw away. I told her that I wouldn't be able to live like this if she moved in, and she agreed to throw it all out and continued to discuss her hoarding problem with her therapist. We had a great 4 months, and our sex life has also been great. She would always let me finish in her mouth, and then she would go to the bathroom. She wasn't swallowing, and I heard the water running whenever she went in, so I naturally assumed she was cleaning out her mouth. What she was actually doing was spitting it all into a shampoo bottle that was held under the sink in the back. Well, I ran out of shampoo last week, and I was seeing if there was anything else, and I saw this bottle of Garnier Fructis almost filled in the back. I popped it open in the shower, and as soon as it hit my head, I knew this wasn't shampoo. Also, the smell then hit me and it effed me up. It smelled like pee and cheese. At first, I thought this was somehow shampoo that was overdue, but when I poured it out, I saw the consistency and I knew that it was old sperm. I called out of work and woke her up and started demanding answers about this, and she said, "Yes, I've been hoarding your sperm. I couldn't let something so precious to me go." And she started to cry. Apparently, she's been doing this ever since she's moved in. I poured 4-month-old sperm on my head. Some of you may think that I owe her support, but that was literally the most vile, disgusting thing I've witnessed or had happen to me. I left the apartment and told her that we're done. We fought and fought some more, but she finally agreed to leave. I'm sorry. That was literally insane. I came across that story today and I'm like, sorry? Like, I didn't read it, but I saw the title and I'm like, what could this possibly be? Like, genuinely, I'm scared and I just hope it's a joke, but apparently it's not. I mean, it's really sad because obviously hoarding is like a real issue that like people struggle with. Like, it's almost like, I don't really know what you would consider it, but it's almost like an addiction, right? Like keeping everything because you like just, I don't know, you have this like mental block where you can't get rid of anything, and that can end up being so terrible and put you in such a bad living situation. And it's really sad because obviously it's like mentally it's like a thing, like it's a problem that you have to really work through with like actual psychological help. And so that's sad on one side, but then again, like it's so disgusting that sperm, like I get keeping all your clothes, all your books, like I don't know, filling your house to the brim with everything that you own, but I've never heard of like hoarding someone's sperm. That's just like genuinely so scary to me and so disgusting. I would literally I would barf because we all know that don't smell good in the first place. So I can't imagine having it like literally turn into kombucha. Like you could probably get drunk off of it. It probably fermented in there and turned into moonshine or something. Like that's so gross. That's ew. I would actually throw up. I'm so surprised he didn't. I mean, I guess it's his own, but like ew. If that happened to me, I would literally throw up. Whew. Yuck. Okay, let's read some top comments. And that's me done with the internet tonight. If I've learned anything from Reddit, then it is that the world is a very weird place behind the curtains or under your sink. T. I just opened the app. Man, for F's sake. It's 10:19 on a Thursday. Morning, mate. Christ. Are you sure it was yours? Someone said it could have been a long-term collection or one of multiples. Look under the sink for bottles of Garnier. Chad Garnier. Todd Garnier. Or wait, is it Garnier? Garnier or Garnier? I don't know. I think it's Garnier. And Garnier Michael. That's disgusting. The last few days on this app have been rough. I need therapy now because I clearly have an issue closing the app and letting it stay closed. I mean, yeah, but like I love those types of stories. Like, yeah, it's disgusting and yeah, it's like the most vile thing I've ever heard. But like seeing new things that humans are capable of is always so interesting because it's like, wow, I never thought that that would ever be a thing or that that would ever happen in a million years. But that just shows you that truly anything you think is the weirdest thing in the world, someone is probably doing right now. You know? Like anything. It's really a world full of possibilities out here, and that's honestly kind of fun. And I love it when people post it for my entertainment because thank you. I needed that. Also, wait, guys, I forgot to tell you happy Thanksgiving. Like, I know that you guys aren't going to hear this until the day after Thanksgiving, but I'm filming this on Thanksgiving before my Thanksgiving dinner. I don't really have like off work because I still have stuff to do. So I woke up at like 9:30 today and then I did work for a couple hours and now I'm filming. And then after I'm done filming, like we're going to go to Thanksgiving and I'll be done working for the day, which it's like 2 right now. We're going to be going to Thanksgiving at 3 p.m. and then I'll be done with everything for the day. But yeah, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. And if you didn't or you didn't have anyone to celebrate with, I'm really sorry. And I hope that you, I don't know, binge my episodes or something. I always love to see like people, wow, this is so crooked, the lamp, and it's bothering me. I'm looking at it in the viewfinder. But I always love when people comment like that I'm like getting them through the day or like being there with them, you know, because I listen to podcasts a lot to like keep me company. Like it makes me feel like I'm like not alone and I'm hanging out with someone because I work from home like all day long and I'm alone a lot, so it always makes me like feel so much better even though obviously I don't know them, and not in a parasocial way, but it's just like it's like I don't know. You know what I mean? You get it. If you get it, you get it. But this one is Thanksgiving themed, so this is right on par. The title is Am I the asshole for refusing to host Thanksgiving because my family keeps using my house as a free hotel? Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and I feel like I'm at my breaking point. For the past 5 years, I've hosted at my house, and it's gone from being something I genuinely love to something I absolutely dread. The main issue isn't the cooking or the cleaning, it's how my family treats my house like a free hotel. They don't just come for the meal, they show up days early and act like they're on vacation. My brother brings his kids, who immediately take over the living room with toys, snacks, and whatever mess they can make. My sister doesn't lift a finger, claiming she's just here to relax, and my mom spends the entire time critiquing everything I do. She even made me iron the tablecloth last year, saying it was embarrassing for the family to eat on wrinkles. Last year was the final straw. My brother's kids raided the fridge the morning after Thanksgiving, finishing off the leftover pie I was saving to share with my in-laws that weekend. No one helped clean up after dinner. My husband and I spent 2 hours washing dishes while everyone else lounged in the living room, drinking wine. When I complained later, my sister rolled her eyes and said, "Well, you're the one who wanted to host." This year, I decided I wasn't going to do it. Back in September, I told everyone I needed a break and suggested we rotate hosting duties or go out to a restaurant. My mom said I was being selfish and that my house is the most comfortable. My sister flat out refused, saying her apartment is too small, and my brother said he's too busy to host because of his work schedule. Since then, they've been constantly pressuring me to change my mind. My mom even said, "You're ruining Thanksgiving for everyone." And my brother promised to help more this year. Though I've heard that before. Now, with only a day to go, no one has stepped up to host, and the family group chat is a passive-aggressive mess. My mom keeps implying that Thanksgiving might not happen at all if I don't agree to host, which makes me feel terrible. On one hand, I feel like it's unfair for them to expect me to carry the burden year after year, especially when they treat my home and me with so little respect. On the other hand, the idea of Thanksgiving falling apart because of me is making me second-guess myself. Part of me wonders if I should just suck it up and host to keep the peace, but another part of me feels like I deserve a break too. Am I the asshole for standing my ground and refusing to host this year? I mean, I feel like you could just say this, like, personally, what I would do is, like, I'm only going to host if you guys do all the work, right? Like, I'm not going to do anything if you're not going to help. So you guys can come, but nothing's going to happen unless you guys prepare stuff. Because you don't have to do anything. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's annoying to have people, like, around your house all the time and, like, being annoying. But at the end of the day, it's like, I would just say you guys have to bring everything and do everything and clean all the dishes and stuff, or it's not happening. And bring your own dishes, actually, like, genuinely, and like paper plates or something. I don't know. I'd be like, nope, off limits, off limits. I mean, I don't know, because that's seems like the only solution if you want to have a Thanksgiving still. But it's definitely not your fault. Like, someone else can step up and help and, like, host Thanksgiving. So the fact that they're putting it all on you is definitely really annoying. And, like, I wouldn't blame you if you were just like, no, and you stood your ground, which is probably the better idea, because then it shows, like, that you're assertive and you're not just a pushover. But at the same time, like, I wouldn't blame you if you were just like, okay, as long as you guys bring everything and do everything, then that's fine with me. I'm not going to prepare anything. It's all up to you guys. And if no one brings anything, then I guess y'all are sitting there and watching TV, not eating anything or ordering a pizza or something. But I just don't see why it has to be like, just because it's at your house, it doesn't mean that you have to do all the work, right? Like, they could bring everything and then you could do the dishes. Or if you really, really don't want that and you really just want it to be everyone else, then you could just, like I said, not let them use the dishes. Like, I don't know. It's your family. Like, come on. Just, I don't understand how people are, like, feeling so bad that their family is being, like, passive aggressive. Like, if my family is being passive aggressive towards me, I'm going to be like, okay, then you won't see me for Thanksgiving this year. So fuck off, because why are you going to pressure me into having a Thanksgiving? Like, bye then. I don't know. Do you want to see me or not? Because I just won't come. And yeah, so bye. I just feel like I'm a lot more comfortable with sticking up for myself, especially with my family, like people that I've known my entire lives. Like, I should be able to stick up for myself and not be like, I feel so guilty, when you're the one who's been hosting for years now and no one else can host. So they should really be thanking you and be grateful for the fact that you're hosting in the first place. Okay, next story. This one's also crazy. And it was 6 days ago, posted on Relationship Advice. The title is, I, 35 female, have proof of my husband's 39 male affair with our sitter, 19 female. What now? I've been married to my husband for 8 years now, and for the first time in the 10 years that we've been together, I can't stand to see him. This man ruined our marriage and family for some 19-year-old. Divorce is the only option for me, because I don't think I will ever love him again. It all started 1 year ago when we were looking for a babysitter for our 2 sons. I, along with my husband, work full-time. After putting the word out, one of our neighbors informed us that their daughter was interested in the job. Maggie came by for us to interview. She had experience and she was able to work around our schedule. At the time, it seemed like a win-win all-around situation. We found someone responsible and Maggie found a job that could help her out. I never once was insecure about Maggie's looks or worried about my husband being attracted to her. Maggie did a great job taking care of our sons and we were both very happy with her. Around last July, I started to get suspicious because of how my husband and Maggie would talk with each other. I came home one day to find my husband making Maggie laugh uncontrollably. I tried to forget about it because I felt like I was becoming jealous of this younger woman. It stayed in the back of my head after that. The second sign was when I was changing the sheets in our guest bedroom, I found strands of blonde hair. No one in my family has blonde hair. I'm a brunette. The last guests we had over were my in-laws, who don't have blonde hair either. The only person who's been in my house recently with blonde hair is Maggie. That's not a big deal, though, because maybe she laid down after getting tired or something. And then there was the whole car fiasco. My husband, out of nowhere, one day asks my opinion about buying Maggie a new car for her birthday. This took me by surprise, because it's not like Maggie doesn't have a car. Also, I don't think we're in the situation to be giving away cars as gifts. Husband's argument was that her car is old, and if she took our boys out, and it would be safer in a new car. I told him no on the car, and that was final. After the car situation, alarms are going off in my head. At this point, I go from thinking I'm just jealous of Maggie to there's something really going on here. Now, Maggie is coming to work in skirts with heels on. She went from sweatpants and not wearing makeup to now having makeup on and her hair all done. Then I notice her toes are painted black. My husband has a thing for feet. I've always known this for our entire relationship. His favorite color on my toes is black. Now I have this 19-year-old coming into work in high heels with her toes done in my husband's favorite color. At this point, I'm 99% sure something is going on. I get a hold of his phone. I'm looking in the messages for Maggie, and Maggie is in a group chat with us. All contact and scheduling is supposed to be done in that group chat with all three of us in it. I find Maggie being texted by my husband separately in his phone. The messages obviously had been deleted by him since the last message was from earlier today, a bunch of laughing emojis from her. I did some research and realized I could recover messages that had been deleted. What I uncovered was probably all the evidence that I needed. It's him basically telling Maggie about how our marriage is basically over. They talk about spending the rest of their lives together. How she can move in as soon as I move out. And she makes a statement, your sons won't even miss her when they have me as their mom. That one really hurt me because the audacity of this woman to talk about my sons like that. Also, I found Snapchat on my husband's phone, which he's never had before. I have a copy of the conversations on my phone. I also have them on video kissing in our backyard. They must have forgot the security camera was there. Now that I have all this evidence, I'm not really sure how to approach it. Do I talk to a divorce attorney before I confront my husband? Do I confront my husband about this at all? Because I would like an explanation about why he thought it was a good idea to throw away our marriage for some 19-year-old wanting to play housewife. Also, do I make any financial moves before blowing this up? As of right now, I've been pretending like everything is okay. I don't think he suspects anything. I'm too embarrassed to talk to my friends and family about this. I feel like I'm still in shock over all of this. It just all feels like a terrible dream that I'll eventually wake up from. Disgusting, love. Why is this such a common thing? Why do I feel like we've read multiple stories about husbands cheating with the nanny? Like, that's disgusting. And I've told you guys stories. I know I've told you guys stories about the family that I used to babysit for a few years ago. I think it was like 2.5, 3 years ago. Actually, it might have been like more than that. 3.5 years ago, maybe. And it was like a young couple. They were like newly 30. I think they were just 30, and I was obviously like 23. So I was babysitting their little 1-year-old. She was so adorable. I loved her so much. And they were kind of new. Like, they definitely got into a relationship really fast, and they got married super soon after and had a baby super soon after. So it was like a super fast relationship. And I always find that with those types of relationships, those usually tend to end faster because the quicker you go, the less you know the person. And then you figure out all these things about the person when you're like further into the relationship, but you've already committed to them. You've married them. You're having a baby with them. So it's like, ooh, what do I do? And so I don't even think they were together for really that long, to be honest with you. And they ended up getting a divorce after I stopped working with them. And I only stopped working with them because I just didn't really have time anymore. But I loved them and we ended on great terms. But the dad was always a little bit off. Like, he was always like a little bit not flirty. Like, he was flirty in like a touching way. Like, he would like send me off and like touch my back while I'm walking out the door. He'd be like, he like would like old pictures of me in a bikini on Instagram. And then like even like a year after I stopped working for them, I would always like his stories of the baby, but that's it. Like, I wouldn't like any other stories. Only the stories that were of the little girl because I loved her so much. And I don't know. I thought we followed each other ever since I started working for them. But the wife never followed me, which was weird, but I definitely communicated with the wife about scheduling and over text, but I never really saw the wife as much because the dad was a personal trainer. So he would come in and out of the house while I was there, and we would definitely talk a lot more. And I would only see the mom like not that often. Like, sometimes she would get home from work early and then I would see her at the end of the day and I would leave. But mostly it was the dad. So like I definitely had a closer relationship with him. But the mom never followed me on Instagram, which I always found weird. Like, why does the dad follow me like immediately on Instagram, but the mom like didn't? I don't know. But I did never follow her because I don't know. Maybe she just didn't want that. But yeah, he would like old photos like of me in a bikini on Instagram, and like a year after I stopped working there, he liked an old photo of me in a bikini, and like it's just so weird to me that I don't know. It's so weird because it's like obviously that would have nothing would have ever happened on my end. Like I wonder if I would have flirted back with him or like tried to like get with him if he would have done that. And like I'm almost wondering why they ended their relationship. Like I found a babysitter um for him and her when I left, because I always do that. I don't like to just leave and not like help them find a babysitter. And so every single time I've left like a babysitting job, I've always found a new babysitter for them, because I like have a lot of ways to find babysitters. My college page, I would always post like, does anyone want this job for this much, blah blah blah. And then I would like kind of vet all the girls and see, and then I would just like I would literally I was so weird. Why did I do this? I would type out a paper. I put their profile pictures, and then I put like a little bio about them, like how old they were and everything. And then I would just like I gave that to the families, every single family that I babysat for, I did this for. And like I would give that to the families, and I'd be like, here's your list of people that are wanting to interview with you guys. And then they would just like pick someone. And why am I like literally a manager? I don't know. That's kind of slay of me. I would love if someone did that for me. But yeah, I just always felt bad. Like I just never felt like I wanted to like just leave them high and dry. And obviously I would give my like 2 weeks notice and stuff as well. But still, even then, like I just didn't, I felt bad because I know how hard it is to find like a babysitter for people that don't have like the same type of like younger people connections. But anyways, yeah, I always thought that was like very interesting. And like I always wonder if it was because he was like cheating on her or something, because I could definitely see that happening. And I never thought they would get a divorce. Like she always was saying how like he was the love of her life, and like she knew that he was the one. And she would always ask me about my boyfriend, and she's like, do you see yourself marrying him and all this stuff? And she's like, do you think he's the one and stuff? And I'd be like, yeah, I definitely do. And she's like, yeah, I knew that like blah 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 was the one when this and this, and we got married and we had a kid and all that stuff. And I'm just like, what changed? It's so crazy how things can change so much. But maybe that was more of like a facade, I guess. I don't know. Because I definitely don't just go like telling people like all like just spewing how much I love my boyfriend, unless we're like specifically talking about relationships and like like in general. Then I'll say like then I'll talk about my relationship. But I don't just like go out of my way to be like, yeah, Jack's the love of my life. I love him so much. I'm going to get married to him. Like, I knew he was the one when I met him, blah, blah, blah. Like, if people are asking me, like, how did you guys meet or something like that, then I'm like, then I'll, like, go into detail about it. But I always find it interesting when people, like, are more outward about their relationships and how much they love each other. I always feel like those are the worst ones. Like, those are the relationships that end the quickest and the most tumultuous as well. But I don't know. I'm just assuming. I don't know how their relationship actually ended, but I don't know. I think this is crazy. 19 is crazy. You're 20 years apart. Also, it's always like it's always a very common theme where it's like the young babysitter is always saying how she's going to be like the new mom, which is crazy. It's like, who are you? I would never ever 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 ever, ever think that. Even if I were like actually someone's stepmom, I'd never be like, I'm your new mom. No, because that's never actually gonna happen. These kids are always gonna know who their real mom is and like always gonna love their real mom. Okay, I'm gonna read some of the comments. First things first, don't confront your husband before you speak to a lawyer. Don't move any money. Don't leave your home. Make sure all your evidence is backed up in an email he doesn't have access to. And when you get a lawyer, send all the evidence to them. Your lawyer will help guide you in the correct direction with your best interests in mind. Also, get rid of that little nanny shithead. Make a provision in your divorce that any arrangements for childcare has to be agreed upon by all parties. Again, the lawyer will help with all of this. Also, I'm incredibly sorry this is happening to you. It's unfair and I know you're hurt. Oh my gosh. Oy, oy, oy. That's great advice. We love that. Although this is not legal advice. Okay, let's see. I always like to see like the first. Okay. Do not confront your husband. You're not going to get any answers from him. You already know he's a deceitful, predatory, cheating scumbag. What is left to say? Take the proof to a divorce lawyer. This guy is exactly the type who will screw you over if he catches a whiff of your plans. Act like everything is just fine until papers are served and you have a strong plan in place with your lawyer. As for the girl, show her parents proof of everything and let them deal with it. After papers are served, I know someone who was in a I know someone who was in a similar situation. They were able to prove the mistress turned child bride was trying to turn their kids against them, and it was written up that they couldn't be around the kids. Ask your lawyer about that. Oi, that's crazy. I mean, honestly, it's sad because obviously this girl's 19, so it's like she's a consenting adult, but at the same time, she's definitely like I still feel like you can be groomed, right? Like, can you be groomed as a consenting adult? Because you're 19. It's like you're freshly an adult. You're still, I don't even consider, and at the same time, it's like we as a government, we choose what is what's an adult. I don't really believe that 18 is an adult. Like, when I was 18, I didn't know fuck all about my life. I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. I didn't know who the hell I was. I literally was so confused about everything in my life and about who I was, and like so back and forth about so much stuff, and didn't know what the fuck I was going to do with the rest of my life. And like, I truly don't think I became an adult until 24, 25. Like, I don't know. Maybe 23. Yeah. I would definitely say 23. Like, I was definitely getting there. But I don't know. It's actually crazy. And I'm probably not even fully an adult yet. I'm 26 years old. Like, I'm probably fully not an adult yet. I'm probably still like a little, I don't know. When do you actually become an adult? Because I still am just a young little lad. So 19 is just crazy. And that's definitely a huge power dynamic with that age gap, and also being her boss. And I mean, I'm not saying that you can't date like older people, but it's just like crazy when it's so young. Like, it'd be different if she was 30 and he was 50. Obviously, that'd be still weird because that's such a big age gap. But it's also like, I don't know, better than 19 and 40. He's 39, but basically 40. If I remember correctly, you posted last year, speak to an attorney. If possible, separate finances just as changing direct deposits and take half savings right before confrontation. You can also do a credit check to see if he has any hidden accounts or savings. Also, ask the attorney if you can get cameras in the house that he doesn't know about, mainly in the bedrooms. I don't remember that. Might be a bot reposting it for the karma. I 100% have read this exact story before. I haven't read the exact story. I don't remember the toenail part, but I do remember the part where someone was saying like about the sons wanting them as a mom. But I swear the last people, it was girl that she was babysitting. I don't think it was sons. I don't know. I definitely think it was different though. Wake up, this isn't a dream, it's a calculated betrayal. Your husband isn't having a midlife crisis. He's orchestrating your replacement with someone barely legal. He's discussing your children, calling her mom while sleeping with her in your home. You don't need his explanation. His actions tell you everything. Get an attorney, secure your evidence, protect your assets, and prepare for war. He's already shown he'll choose his teen girlfriend over his family's stability. Forget about getting closure or understanding why. He's shown you that he's garbage. Tea, baby. So real. Yeah, usually like when someone shows you who they are, then you should believe them. Because it's obviously so easy to be like, oh, well, I know them. Like, they didn't mean it like that, or they would never do this, or maybe like, I think he'll change. You know, they have the potential to be better, but I'm pretty sure that you're just convincing yourself of that. So you should probably just like take them at face value and realize that this is who they are. And I'm sure this isn't the first time a situation like this has happened to them. Like, I can't imagine, right? Usually when someone's doing something that crazy, it's like they've probably done something shady before, or multiple times before, because there's no way someone just out of the blue is like, oh, I'm gonna go date the 19-year-old babysitter. That's just crazy. Unless they literally are like genuinely soulmates that were separated at birth. Wait, what? Not the separated at birth, but you get what I mean. You know, the like whole theory that there's actually a soulmate. There's one person has a soulmate, and it was because in the beginning of time or whatever, the gods like separated the. How the fuck do I explain that? You know what I mean? The gods separated. There's like two heads, I think. a body, and then the gods separated all of those. If you are like a Greek god type of person, mythical, I don't know, guys, I don't fucking know. I want to kind of look it up though. Okay, the Greek myth of soulmates is based on a story in Plato's Symposium in which Zeus punished humans for their pride by splitting them in half. The myth explains that humans are destined to spend their lives searching for their other half. In the myth, Zeus divided humans in half to punish them for their vanity and selfishness. The plan also doubled the human population, which would double the sacrifices humans would have to make to the gods. However, Plato also expressed some reservations about the idea of soulmates. He believed that you can't truly love something unless it's good, and that you can't be satisfied with something that's less than perfect. Plato also described the idea of becoming one with another person as immature. He believed that a mature relationship is based on the independence of both partners. Okay, Plato, go off. You're so right. Thank you for that. Such great advice. But I always love like hearing stuff like this because I just think it's so cool to see other perspectives of, I don't know, just the world and like what we think is the purpose of stuff, because obviously like I don't really believe in this, but who knows? It could be a thing. I'm not I don't know. I'm not an expert on life or love or the creation of the world, so God only knows. Okay, but that is all for the story times. We're going to move on to the advice segment. So, if you guys ever want some advice from me, I'm not a professional, but if you want advice from me, the link is below. It's a Google form and it's completely anonymous. I don't collect any emails, names, or anything. It's completely anonymous. So, let's get into the advice segment. This is, I don't know why, what I was about to say, but this is the title. No, there's no title. Wait, what? Shut up. Okay, this is the story. I've had a thing for my friend who's a girl. I'm also a girl for a while now, and I really want to tell her, but at the same time, I'm absolutely terrified to ruin our friendship. She's also into girls, but I genuinely can't tell if she's into me too or not. I've tried to put subtle feelers out there, and we flirt with each other and stuff, but I don't know if it's just like fun girly flirting as friends, or if she's feeling the same way as me. We're both kind of awkward, lol, so there is a chance we're both just being too shy to say anything about having feelings. And I mean, she does play casual by chaperone when she's driving with me, so that might be a good sign. I'm also a little hesitant to confess because one, she's basically my only friend right now, and if it didn't go well with her, I wouldn't have anyone to confide in about it. Two, I've only really started figuring out and coming to terms with my sexuality fairly recently, and I wouldn't want her to think that I'm just experimenting with her and wasn't serious about things. And three, I'm not ready to tell my family about me being bi, and I'm worried they'd find out and that my friend would be hurt thinking I'm hiding her. If it worked out, my family supports LGBTQ, but when I was 12, my mom found out I thought that I was bi and told me that it was a phase and that I was too young for that. So I've never really felt comfortable bringing it up even after over 6 years since that. I'm pretty sure if I told them they'd support me now that I'm older and much more sure of who I am, but I still worried they'd see me differently and I'd really regret saying anything if they did end up acting differently. Advice? Okay. I think, I feel like in, okay, how am I going to say this? I would definitely, okay, I would give it a little bit. I don't know how long you've had feelings for her, but you did say for a while now. But I would just ride it out a little bit longer and see if that's truly like, if what you're feeling is truly real and you truly have feelings for her. And then talk to her about it. And the way that I would talk to her about it is just basically the way that you said it. Like, you said it here perfectly. I would obviously say, hey, I want you to know that this is how I feel, but at the same time, if you're not like, if you don't feel this way, I really don't want to lose you as a friend and I value our friendship and I really want to keep like continuing being friends. And it's really important to me for you to know that. And at the same time, same thing with you saying you're just now figuring out your sexuality and you don't want her to think that you're just experimenting with her and weren't serious about things. I would say that exact thing to her. Like, I think the way that you're putting it in this, the what you typed out is like a perfect thing to bring up to her, because obviously if you guys are close friends, you should feel like I'm sure you feel like you can confide in her about things. So I don't really see why you couldn't confide in her about this as well. And I would just be like, I really don't want you to think that like I'm not serious about things because you know that I'm new to this thing, and I would just bring it up like that. And then with your family, I totally understand that. And also, I know that you're so young, and so it's like what, you're probably 18, I'm guessing, or 19. Cuz you said 12 and then over 6 years since that, so like 18, 19. But I totally get it. Like I don't I get it, but I don't, obviously, because I've never experienced something like this. But I can imagine that, like, if I were to come out as bi to my family, it would be so hard, and I would feel so like I wouldn't, because yeah, I wouldn't want them to like. I get it. I wouldn't want them to look at me differently either. But at the same time, you're very young, so you definitely like. I would. I mean, obviously, to like wait until you're truly ready to divulge that information and truly are comfortable with yourself, because I'm sure after like a while of you figuring this out and dating girls and stuff, you're going to become more comfortable with yourself and your sexuality. And just as you age, you're going to become more comfortable with yourself and your sexuality. And you're going to realize that like you are who you are, and if people don't accept you that way, then that's their loss, and they shouldn't even be in your life in the first place. So if they can't truly like, if your family can't truly accept this is the person that you are, you can't hide it from them forever, obviously. Definitely wait until you're like a lot more comfortable, because you don't want to be, I don't know, you don't want to be uncomfortable, and you want to just wait until you're a little bit more settled in and kind of more confident with yourself and the way that you feel. But I definitely think that if anyone doesn't accept you, then that just shows who they are as a person. And if they don't accept you, then what, you can't change that about yourself. And if they're not able to accept you for who you are, they're just not worth having in your life. And they're toxic, because why do you not accept me for who I am and who I love? And how does it bother you? Like, how does it affect you? How does it bother you? Because it doesn't. It's what makes you happy and makes you live in your truth, in the way that you are, and you're finally being able to express yourself. So if they're not happy for you, then they can fuck off. Obviously, I know it's hard because you're very young, so it's different, like when you're very still enmeshed and like intertwined with your family. I get it. I get it. But I just hope that you find the courage to accept yourself enough that you don't care if your family looks at you differently, and that you can be so confident in yourself and your sexuality and who you are as a person, realizing that, it's not worth it to have people in your life that don't accept you. But let's hope that they will be more accepting about it this time around. Obviously, when you were 12, things were a lot different back then. And I'm not saying that it's good, but 6 years ago was what, 2018? We're definitely like, we're making strides, but it's changed so much now. And I feel like it's not 100% there, but I definitely think that we are so much further in making progress with that kind of stuff. So I wish you luck, and I hope that you update, because I really want to know what happens. But at the same time, if you feel like you just want to come out and say it and you like can't keep it in anymore, then just do it. But my advice is that I would just wait it out a little bit longer. And I'm not saying like a year. I'm just saying like maybe give it another month and just like gather your thoughts a little more, and like think about how you really want to go about it and what you really want to say, and if it's really worth it, if it's really something that you truly think would like be worth it. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, I hope everything goes well with you. And I hope that you guys have a beautiful love story. That'd be so fun if you came back like next month and were saying that you were like dating now and you were in like a happy relationship with her. That'd be so cute. I would love that. So if you have any updates, let me know. I would love to hear. But that's all for the advice segment. I'm gonna just chit chat with you guys a little bit and kind of I don't really have much to say, but obviously it's Thanksgiving, so I'll let you know what my plans are and stuff. My plans are that I kind of already told you guys, but I'm going at 3. We're going to my boyfriend's mom's boyfriend's house with her boyfriend, his mom, and then my boyfriend's brother. I think that's all that's coming. Maybe some of their family, maybe some of my mom, or not, why do I keep saying my mom? My boyfriend's mom's family, or my boyfriend's mom's boyfriend's family. What the hell? Not my goldfish's grandpa's uncle's cat's grandma. Like, come on. I could just say like my mother-in-law's boyfriend's family. No, that's still like a lot, but I don't know who's coming. And we'll see, I guess. But I had a coffee this morning, and then I had like 2 pieces of toast, and I'm like so hungry, and I'm fear that I'm going to stuff my face to the gods, and I'm not going to feel good about it, but I do it every time. I truly do. And I know that they're going to have so much food and so much stuff because they've been like planning for the past like 3 weeks, and they're like asking us what dessert we want and stuff, and I'm like, okay. I don't really like Thanksgiving dessert that much. Like, I don't love apple pie. I was going to make snickerdoodle cookies, but it's a little late. I'm kind of sad about that. I'm not going to lie, because I love snickerdoodle cookies, and we got butter last night so that I could make them, but I just didn't have time. I don't have time this morning, and whatever. They're probably going to have so much stuff that it's not even going to matter, so I'd probably just be wasting my time. And I always make snickerdoodle cookies, so I'll just make them at home for us. But that's pretty much all we're doing today. And then my boyfriend has off work tomorrow, so that will be nice. I'm probably going to work just a couple hours tomorrow, and then just spend the rest of the time with him. I don't know. He might go golfing. We'll see about that. We'll see. I don't know. Usually it's fun when he goes golfing. I like it because I can just chill at home and like not have to worry about doing anything, because usually we are like going to do grocery shopping or something. I don't know, but I just like to chill at home and like rest my little body, as if I don't sit on the couch and work all day. But it's different when you get to like rest mindlessly and then you're like sitting on the couch and working. Like, obviously I'm doing stuff on the computer, so it's not like I'm like truly resting and giving my body like a break. But my little kitties are sleeping so cute right now. I wish I had something else to talk about. My life is truly so boring. Like, what's going on? We're also going to lunch tomorrow. Oh, that's what I forgot about. Oops, excuse me. We're going to lunch tomorrow with my boyfriend's family that we went to the fancy dinner with the other night. And I don't know what else to say about that. That's really not a big deal, but you guys know everything about my life. So, yeah. I think that's really all. I don't really have any rants to rant about today, other than I'm about to go ham on some ham. And actually, I don't really like ham that much. I like turkey better. And gravy. They better have brown gravy, because I love brown gravy. Brown gravy, mashed potatoes, and turkey. Ooh, I could literally live off that. Oh, wait. Actually, what would your guys' last meal be if you were on death row? I always think about that. Like, obviously, I'm never going to be on death row, but it's kind of a fun question to think about, right? Like, and also, can you have multiple things? Can you have, like, a 3-course meal? Because I always see people saying they would have this, this, and this, and I'm like, I thought you could just choose one meal and that's it. But I guess if you're on death row, it's like, come on. I would probably have, this is kind of hard, actually. I would probably have, for my main course, Mexican, like a fat fucking burrito with hella queso, guac, chips, salsa, because Mexican is my favorite. Like, truly, when I think about it, Mexican is my favorite food. It's my go-to. I love Mexican food till I die. And then for dessert, I'd probably have like fresh donuts and donut holes and a funnel cake, maybe churros. That's probably, and I would have a Mountain Dew, but not a Diet Mountain Dew. I'd have a real Mountain Dew. Like 2 liter. I'd probably drink the whole thing. And then probably an iced coffee as well, because like I need energy for my afterlife. I need energy to die. No, it's actually sad to think about that people are on death row. But obviously, if they're on death row, they did something terrible. So at the same time, it's like, is it really that sad? No, probably not. But the people that get on death row and then they really were innocent, ooh, that's sad. I can't believe that happens. That's kind of why, like, so I like believe in the death sentence, but I don't at the same time, because it's like, I don't know, it's just so hard. What if that person really didn't do it and like all the evidence is pointing to them and they get charged and convicted? But then what if you find out in 20 years that it actually wasn't them and they were like framed for it and then they're dead, so it doesn't even matter? That's crazy to me. And that's the only thing that makes me think like, maybe not. But then another thing makes me think that I feel like a lot of the times they should just rot in prison and think about what they did for the rest of their lives every day in agony. But then again, it's like, I know prison is definitely not like, I know it's not like a 5-star hotel, but at the same time, it's like you do get to live and eat, and you get to, I know that the food is not good though. My brother went to jail. He was not in prison, but he was in jail. And he damn near lost like 100 pounds. He was like very chubby before he went in. And then when he came out, he was a totally different person. I'd never seen him so skinny. It was crazy. And he'd always been like a chubby kid. Ever since we were like little, he was always chubby. And then all of a sudden, when he went to jail, he like barely, I guess, ate anything, and he worked out a lot because that was the only thing he had to do. And he read the Bible a lot. And then when he came out, he's like a totally different person. And after he came out, I was like helping him do like a little makeover. I would like what I think I donated a bunch of his old clothes to Plato's Closet, and we like shopped for like new clothes. I think I actually shopped for clothes for him, if I'm thinking about it. And then I told him like what style hair to get. I told him he should get his eyebrows done because they were super, super bushy and he just needed them a little maintenance. But I think they definitely went a little too ham at first, and they were like a little bit too maintenance after that. But he made a full transformation after that. And honestly, why am I like kind of slay for that? Because I was so sad when why am I ranting about this now? I was so sad though when my brother went to jail. I'm not even kidding you. It was like the worst time of my life because he had been going through trouble for like years, ever since, oh my God, since I was in middle school. And he finally ended up getting arrested when I was like a junior in high school, probably, like for good. He's gotten arrested plenty of times before that, but then he got arrested like he actually had to serve time. And that was like terrible because this was probably the 4th time they had raided our house, and this was like a different house. They had raided like 4 houses. We moved a lot when I was little, with my mom, and it was our apartment, and they fucked everything up. Every time they would raid our house, they would literally flip everything upside down. The mattress they would flip upside down. They would pour everything out. They would go through the back of the toilet, the freezer, the fridge. Like everything was so oh my God, you scared me. Everything what? No. Everything was so like bad after, and it was just like everywhere. It was like a tornado went off. And so then after he went, like they took him away, and then him and his girlfriend broke up. Him and his girlfriend broke up because she said that if that happened again, like if he ended up getting arrested again, then she would break up with him for good. And it was really sad because they had been together for like 2 or 3 years, and she was like she was like the best person ever. She was so nice, and she like everyone loved her. But yeah, obviously, I wouldn't want to stay with someone if they were going to jail all the time as well, so it's fine. But I definitely was mad at her a little bit because we became like really good friends. And yeah, then I was really sad and I cried for like a week because I just couldn't believe that finally he was going to jail, like actually serving time. And that was really scary. I was like, oh my God, is he going to be put away? Because the trial was, it could have been like 5 to 10 years he was facing for whatever he was doing. He's crazy. It's not like he killed anyone or anything, but yeah, he was facing like 5 to 10 years. But then he ended up going to jail for like 3 months, and then he was in like a rehab facility for 3 months it was like kind of jail as well. Like he had visitation hours and stuff. He couldn't leave or anything, and they like it's like a halfway house kind of, and they like put him in a job and stuff to help him transition into real life again. And yeah, it was crazy because he called me when he went to jail, and I remember I was in Ulta and I picked my phone up and I answered it, and it was like, do you accept this from the something something jail? And I was like, yeah, and I accepted it. And then he was like, can you do this and this and this? And I was like, yeah. Like, I was so sad. But he was telling me to do stupid shit. I was like, can you say you love me or something? Because you're going to jail, son. Or you're in jail. But yeah, that's my life story. I don't know if I missed anything there, but I'm sure I'll divulge again at some point about that story. Because there's a lot of lore to that. There's so much lore. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that little spill sesh. Because I don't even know how I ended up on that topic. And my boyfriend walked in on the middle of it and it scared the shit out of me because I didn't hear him come in the door. And now it's time to go. And I'm ready. Okay? So I hope you guys had the best Thanksgiving ever. And I love you guys so much. And thank you so much for being here. I also made a Discord. I don't even know if anyone joined. I don't know how to fucking work that damn site. Okay? So I don't know if it's even going to be anything. But it's in the link below if you so would like to join and help me figure out how to use it. Yeah, love you. Mwah, bye.